One of my favorite things to create in Notion is a rehearsal calendar for each concert sequence. Using a database, I create sections for each piece and sequence them on a specific day so that I know we have plenty of time to prepare the repertoire that has been chosen. I find it important to set a pace of rehearsal through a concert sequence that relieves unnecessary anxiety from the singers. Creating this calendar helps keep me accountable that I can prepare the repertoire I have chosen in the amount of time I have available. Honestly, it's a relief from decision fatigue to know what I will be covering in rehearsal each day. Scheduling out my rehearsal calendar ensures that music will be comfortably prepared well before the concert date. This leaves us time to be sure we have adequately addressed artistry as well as interpretation and relevant context for each of the pieces. For me, this calendar is usually included on a page that is live and available to the entire choir. I typically make a new one each semester and include other information such as voice part assignments in different textures and standing arrangements. To create our rehearsal calendar, we only need to add one element to our Notion page, which is a database. I would suggest inline, especially if you're going to have other choir information on this page, such as legal scores to distribute or assigned voice parts. I'm creating this rehearsal calendar for this concert sequence in the middle of a semester, so I will just be adding to a rehearsal calendar that already exists. After inserting an inline database, you will only need 2 columns. The first column is automatically named Title. Here, we will put the title of the song along with the letter of the rehearsal section. In the example I'm using, I have a public domain score of the Fauré Requiem. While the included rehearsal letters aren't exactly the way I would do it, I'm going to leave them as printed because we're collaborating with other choirs for this performance, and I don't want to cause confusion at a later rehearsal. Typically, I go through and create my own rehearsal sections and assign the letters. I'm always on the lookout for really great starting spots that keep our rehearsal pacing brisk. The included rehearsal sections are pretty short in this work, so I'm including several per rehearsal. To indicate the space at the beginning of a piece before the letter A, I just use 0. Here, I'm using the side-by-side view on my iPad with my Fauré Requiem open in Fourscore on the right and my rehearsal calendar open in Notion on the left. I'm adding the grouped letters into the title column with the name of the movement in which they appear. If you're creating your own rehearsal sections, you may choose to make each letter approximately the amount of material you'd expect to cover in one rehearsal. A little reminder that each line of your database is actually its own little subpage. So if you click into that subpage, just add your rehearsal letters on the top line. Now that we've finished entering all of the rehearsal sections, we need to go to the next column and assign them some rehearsal dates. Since we have created this column to be a date, as we click in each field, a calendar will pop up. From here, select the date that you would like to assign this rehearsal section to. These dates don't have to be exactly correct. Once we switch this database view to a calendar view, it may be a little easier to see how many items you would like to schedule per day. Now that I'm all scheduled out, I'm going to slide closed the window with my Fourscore. Come back to the top of the table, find the 3 dots next to the blue New rectangle. Click on the dots and look for Layout at the top of the page. Currently, Table is selected. From the drop-down menu, choose Calendar. From this view, we can now see each rehearsal item on a calendar day. From here, we can easily move rehearsal sections from one day to another, either backwards or forwards, depending on your needs. Here, you can see me drag and drop the offertoire BCD section from the 19th to the 21st and then back. A last little note to remember that each of these entries is its own little page. If you'd like to make notes for rehearsal, either for yourself or that the whole group can see if you share this page out to them, click on the entry and add your notes. And now you have a rehearsal calendar for your entire concert sequence that is easily accessible from your computer, tablet, or phone. You can always reach out with questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Information is in the description box, and thanks for hanging out for 5 minutes with the organized conductor. What should I organize next?